And when Terrence Bradley had to talk, he was just fumbling. Fumbling, I mean, just all over the place. All over the place. Look what they did with Nathan Wade. They asked, hey, was you at the cabin with Fani Willis? He literally looked up in the air. Looked up in the air for darn near a minute. He looked in the air so long that I had time to get up, take my headphones off, go in my kitchen, fix me some coffee, put my sugar in it, stir it, come back, sit down, put my headphones back on, take a sip, and he'll be still looking in the air. All right, y'all, we are back with another video. This one right here is coming by Doug. I will leave the original video in the description. Make sure y'all please go subscribe to Doug. Let him know in the comment section that Adogg sent you, all right? I will leave the original video in the description. Doug, keep us up to date with everything. Like I've said plenty of time, the reason why I promote Doug over here on my channel. Shout out to Doug for giving me a shout out and stuff like that. I really, really appreciate that. And this one is very, very interesting now. Very interesting now. Doug said that DA Fani Willis hearing is 2 weeks by Judge McAfee, but he gave everything away. Now, I want to see exactly what Doug is talking about. Then Doug go on to say that Judge McAfee revealed his Fani Willis decision by accident. Wow, I want to hear this because I want to see exactly what happened. What did the judge reveal that I probably don't know about? But we definitely finna get ready and check this out. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. Please get a video a like so more people can see this. And I want to see exactly what the judge had revealed by accident. I love to hear this. So without further ado, y'all, let's dive in.
It's time to speculate about Fani Willis. We're specifically just going to look at this last quote from Judge McAfee. We'll look at it together. But first, let me introduce Q. Quentin's an old friend of mine. We've been doing YouTube together for a long time. Some of you just haven't seen it is all. But his link is going to be in the description to his YouTube channel called Truthville.
Truthville.
USA. Okay. Right. Go give him a sub, watch, whatever. I'm here to promote him, so just go look for that, and you'll see that he's a good patriot. And if you're looking for good news, we're on the ball. This is Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where all the happy patriots are. So we're going to watch this. So first things first, what's your big take home from Fani Willis? What's your thought?
Man, so I think Fani Willis was a very desperate person. I think that she was broke. She needed to come up, and she figured that she could use Donald Trump's name as a way to get out of the hole that she was in. And she wrote a book, and she wanted to promote that book. And
she's Eugene Carroll.
She's a con artist. I mean, let's be honest. And she thought that she had enough powerful friends that she could lie, and she could steal, and she could cheat, and she could get away with it. But I don't think it's going to work.
Do you think she came up with the idea to go after Trump, or did someone else?
And, you know, so from what I understand, she received a lot of money from a lot of dark places.
George Soros.
And George Soros. So I don't think that it was her original idea. But I feel like she saw it as an opportunity when it was brought up, and she ran with it.
She said, "Sure, I'll do it." But now everyone's going like, "Who tapped her?"
Yeah. No, man. And then to go and watch her testimony. I mean, she's just not a very bright individual. I mean,
not professional.
Not professional at all. And for all the conversations that we heard about temperament and having the temperament of officer of the court when we were going through the Kavanaugh deal. I mean, I'm thinking, that's the temperament that we're supposed to be? Yeah. I mean, she was like the definition of a mad black woman. Let's be honest.
She was.
I mean, Tyler Perry's going to make a movie about her next, I guarantee you.
I can't talk about the black part of it. I can tell you she's a mad woman.
Well, she's black. She's a woman, and she seemed pretty ticked off.
Where do you put her on mad black woman on a scale of Michelle Obama?
Oh man, you know what? So people are going to hate me for saying this, but I think Michelle Obama is far, more intelligent than Fani Willis is.
Yeah, and more graceful too.
And more graceful. Now, I don't think that either one of them are great patriots, but at the same time, she's far more graceful than Fani
Michelle
Willis.
Obama has skills.
Yes,
She does.
Let's watch the judge real quick. This is Judge McAfee on the very end of where he says how long this case is going to take, and we're going to speculate on that real quick.
And those aren't ones I can make at this moment. And so I will be taking the time to make sure that I give this case full consideration it's due. I hope to have an answer for everyone within the next 2 weeks. Until that point, if there are any other issues that come up, counsel can reach out, and we'll have an order posted on the docket. Thank you all. We're off the record.
So, he's off the record. You're on the record. What do you say?
So the closing arguments, I mean, were from the good guy's side was absolutely fantastic. I mean, hit the ball out of the park, and then listening to the closing arguments of Fani's side.
That was bad.
It was terrible, and it seemed
I know
like
that real squeaky guy.
Oh God, it was awful.
Man, it was awful.
And well, Judge, I think if you really look, it was terrible. And so, hearing the judge ask questions, you know, if I was going to put subtitles there, what he was thinking. It was like, I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this on double coupon day, dude. Like, that's not, absolutely not. And so I really felt like the judge, from looking at it, I feel like he knows that there were some shenanigans going on. I think he's going to do the right thing.
I hope he do.
So you've heard the conspiracies, though, and I've mouthed some of these. He gave to Fani Willis. His wife gave to Fani Willis twice, hundreds of dollars. I have a lot of people in my chat saying he's an operative. He's just going to do some window dressing, look like he's going after her, and really, he's going to say, we got nothing. Does he read like a straight shooter? Does he read like he's bought and sold to survive in Fulton County?
That's a good question.
He reads like a guy who was presented evidence, and throughout I feel like he tried to give Fani's camp a chance to bring something compelling, and they could not. The only thing they had was, well, it's not that bad, really. I mean, but that's the only defense that they really had. But if you want to talk about giving to campaigns, let's be fair. Trump gave to Hillary Clinton's campaign. So you can't necessarily call someone a turncoat because of who they gave to. I mean, a couple $100 to Fani's, like, I think it's throwing money away, especially after what we now know of Fani Willis, right?
What promise did he see in her?
Yeah, right. You know, but who knows?
I mean, I get exactly what he said. And I actually like this guy. His name Truthville, man. Yo, he making a lot of excellent points. And one thing that stood out to me is that when he said something about, like, the book, because y'all think about it. Look at the people that's going after the two women. Look, E.G. and Carol. Doug even said it. E.G. and Carol is like they going after Trump to try to sell their book. Look what Fani Willis did. Got a book. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to take Trump out. It's like everybody that's trying to write a book, they got to bring Trump into their mess to try to sell it. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Now, I already said that Trump donated to Hillary. So this judge, and like I said, this judge, he didn't give a lot of money to Fani Willis. What it was, like a couple $100, $150, $100 here. So, I mean, it wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't like he gave her $10,000. He donated $20,000. So, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we was all skeptical. Even in my chat, a lot of people been telling me, Adogg, I do not trust this judge. He donated to Fani Willis' campaign. He might be just acting like he's going to get rid of, but he just going to come out and be like, you know what? I found nothing wrong with this. And I hope this judge do the right thing. You look how the closing arguments was. Look how flawless. When I say flawless, look how flawless Donald Trump lawyers was. When they came up there, they was talking that talk. No fumbling over no words. Even what name, Mr. Sadow, killed it. That other lawyer killed it. Look at Fani Willis' side. That guy, that guy about put me to sleep. It felt like he was up there for 3 hours and he was just I mean, just fumbling over all of his words. It was just so ignoring just to watch. It was annoying. He was like, I mean, it's like everywhere. It's like he was nervous. And Fani Willis them having to keep going up there, passing them notes and stuff like that. I don't know that. I mean, come on. That right there just ought to show you right there that Fani Willis should be disqualified. She should be gone. I mean, I will be so upset if this judge come out in 2 weeks and just let Fani Willis stay on the case. Because like that Trump lawyer said, if you let them get away with it, all the other DAs and all these other states going to get away with it. You got to do something about this to put a stop to everybody else that's going to try to pull this mess. That's crazy. So I hope Judge McAfee, I hope he do the right thing and get rid of this woman, because throughout this whole thing, Donald Trump lawyers was flawless on that microphone. They gave him every reason why. They gave her the steps that she messed up on, that she did not supposed to do, and she did it anyway. All these lavish trips, stealing government funds. Now you can't trace none of the money that they spent. Just all of this stuff. Even her best friend came out and said that the relationship started. Terrence Bradley basically just ratted out Nathan Wade. Just ratted out everything, talking about her Fani Willis and Nathan Wade was in his office doing the you-know-what. Said he pretty much saying that he knew about all of it. Even more audio than came out. Talking about that Nathan Wade and Terrence had just ate lunch together 5 weeks ago before the court date. Like, it's just so much out there that this judge can tell. I know this judge can tell that Fani Willis is lying. The woman came up in this courtroom just all mad, just a mad black woman. Just heated. Just trying to yell at Ashley Merchant every time she says something, throwing papers. That ought to show the judge right there that she has been caught. That right there ought to show you everything. Fani Willis should be disqualified. We shall see. Let's keep it going.
Hey, maybe they caught him at a weak moment, but
yeah, and the presumption of innocence goes with her. So even he has to be magnanimous in that way when he starts.
Right.
You know what I mean? He has to look fair. He has to be open. He has to be generous to her.
Right.
And he was.
Yeah.
Because the way she was smacking her mouth when she was on the stand, man.
It was an embarrassment.
I know, you're a weak judge.
Yeah, it was an embarrassment. And I mean, in the way that she operated herself in his courtroom, I can't imagine you and I would get away with that.
No, I wouldn't. And Trump certainly wouldn't. Trump gets fined when he opens his mouth against Kaplan and New York and stuff. Yeah. And here she is just, that was unprofessional. The 2 weeks. Is he telling you anything that it could take 2 weeks, or is he just giving himself the right amount of time it takes?
It doesn't take 2 weeks. I mean, I think he is trying to figure out the best way to distance himself from her. It doesn't. If I were the judge, trying to be as fair as I possibly can, I would have been ready to give a ruling right there on the spot. But of course, he's a judge. I'm not a judge. But
and if he was bought and sold, he'd give a ruling on the spot and cut her loose. He'd go, look, we have to get this thing moving back on Trump.
Right.
And we have improperly gone after this just person of the state. I can't believe we went after her.
And I get it, though. I see what Truthville is saying about it. I mean, look at this. It really don't take 2 weeks for that judge to make that decision. But this is such a big case that I guess he just wants some time to think about it, which we all know the evidence is there. Terrence Bradley got on that stand and lied. Every time Ashley Merchant asked him some questions about those text messages that he sent her, now he hit us with, I don't recall. I was just speculating. I mean, just lied. The man could even, he couldn't even agree that what he did. You sent the text message. You could even just say, yeah, I did send that text message. And he won't even agree to it. He just sitting there lying. I mean, sweating. Just sitting there looking at Nathan Wade and his lawyer the whole time, waiting for them to object. Why y'all think throughout that whole thing with Terrence Bradley that they lawyer, he just kept objecting? It's like every question Ashley Merchant was asking, they lawyer, the state, they just kept objecting everything. Wouldn't even let the man talk. And I was glad that half of the time, you know, Judge McAfee, he did say overrule, because he wanted to hear what Terrence Bradley had to say. And when Terrence Bradley had to talk, he was just fumbling. I mean, just all over the place. All over the place. Look what they did with Nathan Wade. They asked, hey, was you at the cabin with Fani Willis? He literally looked up in the air. Looked up in the air for darn near a minute. He looked in the air so long that I had time to get up, take my headphones off, go in my kitchen, fix me some coffee, put my sugar in it, stir it, come back, sit down, put my headphones back on, take a sip, and he'll be still looking in the air. Just ridiculous. That just go to show you that they all are lying. Look at the attitudes. Can't answer question. Fani Willis just mad. Walking in there like a mad woman. That's enough proof there. I don't think it take 2 weeks. I believe it's going to be earlier than that. I probably say the judge probably going to take a week on it before he rule. I know it don't take 2 weeks. He probably just threw that extra week out there just to keep everybody waiting. I don't think it's going to take him 2 weeks to make a decision. I'm pretty sure he know what he's going to do.
Sex scandal, when the real scandal is Trump. Let's get back to business, right? It would not take. Right. So if he turns around a fast decision, right, it's going to favor her. Right. If he takes the full 2 weeks, he has to write up a bulletproof document that will keep him from going down in history as a biased, you know, white judge against Fani Willis, against a he said, she said soap opera to save Trump's ass.
Right. I mean, and of course, the argument from her side was, well, if we go this route, I mean, the criminal is always going to have the upper hand, right? Yeah. Every prosecutor is going to be biased, and the laws aren't there. And this is where they lost him, I believe. They tried to make the argument that the laws of impropriety were for the judge, not for the prosecutor. Yeah, that's right. And he's like, whoa.
That doesn't apply, yeah. Okay, we're going to wrap up real quick. Don't forget to throw Q some love. You're going to subscribe. There's a link down below to Truthville,
make sure y'all go
USA. Truthville's one word, space USA, right here on YouTube. I just have one last question we're going to end on. Is stuffing cash and always carrying cash a black thing? How much cash you got?
I got.
It's an honest question.
I think I have 50 cents and a pack of bubble gum.
Have you ever heard of black people stowing cash and always operating in cash to pay back debts of $5,000 and going on trips and things and paying wineries and stuff with all carrying around $300 to pay a lunch bill and wads of cash?
Drug dealers, yeah. But
okay, no. We'll end on that. This has been Doug in.
Hey, he's just being honest. He said drug dealers. Oh, man. But, I mean, y'all see it. Shout out to Truthville, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him as well. Hey, look, excellent brother. I love a lot of his points that he made, and that was the one, like I said before, really stuck to me when he brung up, like, the book. They seem like everybody going after Trump writing a book trying to use Trump to sell their books. They're just crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Judge McAfee gave away something, you know, towards the end of his arguments? Let me know in the comments section. Thank you all for watching. Another great video by Doug. Like I said, don't forget to go over there to his channel, subscribe to him, subscribe to both of them, and let them know that I sent you. All right? And I'll catch y'all in the next one.